I'm going to share a simple yet powerful way to break through trust issues and bring trust and power back into your life so you can deeply connect and build relationships and allow yourself to give love and receive love. So first, you want to recognize why you have issues with trust. And in my opinion, there's 2 reasons that can cause trust issues. Number 1, a promise was broken or you were violated by someone or several people of significance, and that altered your perception of who you believed were trustworthy. And this trauma distorted your belief and confidence to be able to assess who are unsafe and safe. So as a survival mechanism, you resorted to distrusting everybody. Number 2, you keep people at a distance because a trust issue is not so much about the other person, but it's within yourself. You may not be confident in who you are, or you may simply not even know who you are. So you may simply be unaware of what your own boundaries are. And when you're unsure of your own boundaries, you're unable to trust that you can enforce and protect your boundaries with others. And consciously or subconsciously, you know that can place you at risk of getting hurt. So in order to avoid pain, you keep people at a distance. You don't trust yourself because you don't fully know yourself. So for me personally, the way I was able to break through these challenges early in my life was by applying what I call the 3 B's. Belief, build, believe. So number 1, belief. First, you want to recognize that belief is created from an experience. And based on that experience, we create a narrative. And based on that narrative, we start to live our lives according to that narrative. So the initial defense wall you build up, caused by a broken trust, was actually created by a belief you had in order to create safety for yourself. And also recognize that on the flip side, just as belief is what caused your trust issues, belief is also what can reverse your trust issues. It is the number 1 tool you can use to shift your perspective and bring power back to yourself. And understand that belief is just as real or unreal as this invisible ball I'm holding in my hand. So it is the most flexible source of energy you can work with in life. There is no end, guys, to the flexibility. And it's so incredibly beautiful because belief, based on the way you channel it, it can literally transform your life. All right? So number 2, build. Take all the bad experiences that caused distrust and let it go. You know, those events aren't in the present, right? They're not happening at this very moment. So they're no longer relevant. It's in the past. It doesn't serve you anymore, so let it go. Okay? And moving forward, apply this statement as a fact in your life. I am no longer someone who distrusts people. And from a clean slate, rebuild yourself to be the most honest, genuine, and accountable you as possible. Make yourself the most trustworthy person you know, because you will need you to be the baseline of standards that you operate from. Because when you're confident that your standards are built on rock solid honesty, and you're confident in knowing what you're personally capable of giving to others, and you're confident that you have the integrity to always have follow through, then you know it's possible for others to give that same follow through and honesty to you. Because if you can do it in this great big world that we live in with billions of people, there's others who can do it too, right? So guys, remember, everything in life starts with you, your attitude. The way the world shows up is in alignment with how you show up in life. If you want to be open to trust, you have to be trust. If you want to attract trust, you need to be trust. Remember, your thoughts are your reality. But Bora, trust issues happened when I was a kid. I had no fault as a kid to deserve people breaking my trust. Why do I need to rebuild myself for something I didn't create? Well, you're right. None of this was your fault. But the truth about childhood, guys, is that whether it was good or bad, childhood is simply a portal into adulthood, where as an adult, you're given an opportunity to be an artist, to take everything that is broken and to recreate it into a masterpiece where you are the master designer. Guys, brokenness and challenges are simply opportunities to harness power and master yourself. Never place yourself as a victim of your past or of someone else's actions. And you'll hear me say this often because it's true. I feel that victimhood is a place where souls go to die. You will forever be blaming someone else for the way you are and for the way your life is. It's a downward spiral that never ends, so don't go there. And you can always build a better you, right? That never stops as long as you live, right? Okay, so how do you rebuild yourself? Number one, get in touch with your feelings and your boundaries. And this requires a good understanding of knowing yourself, because how honest you can be with yourself is going to determine how honest and deeply you can believe others to be honest to you. All right? Because your eyes see reflections of your own heart in others. So if you're BSing yourself, your eyes will always be triggered to detect BS in others. Does that make sense? So when building yourself, honesty is key here. Guys, honesty is a lifeline of trust, right? Number two, and as you're building yourself, search your heart for these three things. Number one, what are your values? Number two, what type of treatment from others is acceptable to you and not acceptable to you? Number three, and this is important, are you treating and speaking truthfully to others at all times in all matters, small and big? Are you honest to others about your intentions, thoughts and feelings, promises, your boundaries, and even your personality? Are you being authentically you to the best of your ability? Because again, if you can trust that you're always being honest with people and trust that you can have follow through, then you can always trust others to have that same capability for you. Number three, and this is the final B in the 3 Bs, when all is said and done, guys, and you put in the work, but you still have this tiny little voice saying, don't trust, you have to simply turn that thought off and believe that you do trust. And that's as straightforward as it gets. You just have to shut it off. And being able to consciously turn off an impulse and to rewire your thought process is a muscle. It's going to take practice, but it's a practice that doesn't work if you don't believe, all right? So believe that if you are someone that values trust, there are others that value trust too. Believe that if you are capable of taking the time and courage to give people honesty and follow through, that there are others capable of giving that to you too. And if someone falls short and breaks your trust, remind yourself that someone else's failure to uphold trust does not diminish your value and your worth. So you will not take it personally, and you will choose to move forward understanding that one person's failure is not everyone's failure. All right? Guys, believe in yourself and believe in others. Believe in taking chances. Believe in letting people into your heart. Believe that life can be magical because it is. Believe, believe, believe. All right. If you enjoyed this message, guys, I ask that you take 2 seconds to like the video. That helps support my channel and also helps YouTube to share this video with more people. And guys, I mentioned earlier about knowing yourself. If you feel lost and struggle with understanding who you are, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I will be discussing that in a future video and you don't want to miss it. Also, hit the subscribe button if you just want to support my channel and share good vibes. It costs nothing to you. And be sure to check out these other videos from my channel. I cover everything from self-love, self-acceptance to anxiety, depression, harnessing power through life challenges and relationship advice influenced by feminine energy. All right, thanks guys. See you next Friday. Bye.